today's session. So what we're going to do today is just give you a little rundown of how I aid my recovery on a daily basis with just 10 minutes a day. So it's pretty simple. It's something that I've focused on a lot in the last probably 4 or 5 years with doing a lot of triathlon leading up to 2019 half Ironman event. This is something that I did regularly in order to maintain and reduce risk of injury, because what I found, and I don't know if you feel the same, but trying to find time to do some recovery, maybe go into a yoga class for an hour, can be quite inconvenient, especially when you're getting home from work late. The classes maybe aren't so close to where you live. You've got to maybe go and find the class. By the time you do that, it could be a couple hours out of the evening. You've got a commitment with family and friends, loved ones at home. It's never going to be as easy to be able to aid your recovery when it comes to going to like a yoga class, for example. So what I discovered is that I found, could I do 10 minutes a day? And what I found is that by doing so, that actually aided my recovery better, and I saw massive progression in terms of my mobility because I was doing that 10 minutes a day. And that's what I'm going to go through with you tonight, because I try and do this on a daily basis. It was most mornings now, probably in the evening before I go to bed, just to unwind and switch off for the day. So, and 10 minutes a day is all you need, because when you're doing things consistently, you're going to see progression. And for me, with having hip pain trouble in recent years, this was eradicated from doing constant movement patterns that I'm going to do through today. And I don't have any hip trouble. If I does come back if I don't do stretching as much, alongside any other issues as well. So there's a really simple mobility routine that you can do at home to aid your recovery when it comes to recovering better off your bike. And most people in the poll that I put out yesterday wanted a little bit more recovery solutions, which we'll touch on when it comes to nutrition, sleep, and stress management. But today we're just going to focus on mobility, because stretching and your rest is just as important as the exercises and the times on the turbo. So follow along. We're just going to go through each exercise and I'll describe each one as we go, and we're going to hold each exercise for a minute. It's roughly about a 10-minute routine I do daily, as much as I can, not always every day, but I try and do as much as I can most weeks. So it's really simple, fit into your routine. These exercises, remember, tailored more to my needs, but they do kind of hit the main muscle groups that tend to be targeted when it comes to a lot of time and a lot of hours on the bike, especially our work lives being sat down, sedentary, etc. So hip flexors, glutes, lower back, all that kind of stuff. So let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions for any more exercises that you like to throw in. Let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful as well. And let me know what kind of exercise recovery routine that you might do to aid your recovery as well, because it's just really vital when it comes to managing your overall health on and off the bike and in general life as well. So I'm going to get cracking now. And what I always start off with is a cat-cow routine. Okay, so this is just going to mobilize my spine. And I tend to do 10 of these. So let's go down and then extend that. Down and extend. Down and extend. So I tend to go through this one 10 times, just to really stretch the back out. This is a good one to do first thing in the morning, or even before you do a gym session, just to get your body warmed up. So once I've done 10, then I'll sit back down on my arms and then try and pull the shoulders through, push the hands into the floor and just push through like so. So you should, looks like someone's pulling you away from your body. Perfect. Then we're going to go into a nice little one on the shoulder, on the neck here. So you want to push down either side. So you should feel a nice stretch down the side of the neck here. Like so. And then I rock it from side to side. This is a really great one actually. If you do find that you sleep in weird positions like I do. That's beautiful. Then from there what I do is go up into cat-cow. So I'm going to downward dog, just mobilising the calf muscles, slowly just moving them down like that. And again, do about 10 of these. Next one, just watch my head here. Going to mobilise the hip, so we're going to come through and down. So just try and loosen the hips out. So roll and stretch, roll and stretch, just so you loosen up the hips before you go into a sort of pigeon stretch. You can just extend the back up a little bit more, like so as well. I'm just going to show you now before we go into the pigeon stretch. Move this one down. So pigeon stretch. Going to bring the knee under, and what I do here is hold this one, each one now for a minute. So you want to push the hips down, sink the hips back, and just hold it there. So your bum is going to get closer to the floor. And push your chest up as well. Might be able to get to this position to start with. I know when I started this exercise, I struggled to get my hips to the floor, and I started with my feet closer in towards my bum, less of a 90-degree angle here, and as I got more mobile I extended the intensity of the exercise to make it a little bit more aggressive. And then I try and hold each one for a minute. Just allows the body to relax in to the stretch, and you should feel a bit easier and should get closer to the floor each time as well. Now we're going to sort of go down forward, so do a minute and then we go into a minute, leaning down forward as well. This is just a period of time now. You just want to relax as much as you can, so try and take it easy and unwind. This helps bring your resting heart rate down at the end of the day as well. So perfect to do before bed, shower, meditation. Really aids recovery when it comes to getting a good night's sleep as well. Okay, and then we're just going to come back up and switch legs. This one, come back in. Now, I've been having some trouble on this side, personally, with back of my knee. So I can't stretch as I would like to, ideally, as I can on my right. But I am working on improving my calf strength at the moment. But it is pretty sore. But I can sort of bring my foot in closer to my knee, just so I can stretch it out like so. And hip flexors, get a massive beating every day because we're sat down every day, driving, at work, spending less time stood up and moving around. So it's really important to make sure you spend some time on these every day to aid recovery. Also, if you're not doing any weight training, strength training, that's really vital to do as well, just to make sure you're building up the glute muscles so they support the back at the same time. And that's why you get a lot of back problems, is because your glutes are too weak and too tight. So when they're tight, the pelvis rotates under, pulling on the lower back. When they're too weak as well, you're using your hamstrings mainly to propel yourself forward when you should be using your glutes. So there's a knock-on effect. The glutes aren't doing their job, the hamstrings are overworking to compensate, and they start pulling on the lower back, which just makes it a recipe disaster in terms of just experiencing a lot of back pain. So we're going to come down and we're going to just do a hamstring stretch now. So this is a great one. Again, try and push your chest forward and leaning down like so. So open up the chest. And you should feel the stretch become easier as you hold the stretch for longer. That's why a minute is really important, guys. Just to allow your body to settle into that extra length you're creating. And again. You might have one side like me that's better than the other. If you're watching, guys, on the replay, hashtag replay in the comments below. Give us a love thumbs up if you have enjoyed this routine, or if you do one yourself. But good. Now into a nice back stretch. It's my favourite. So bring your knee up, opposite hand. Always try and keep this shoulder here towards the floor. Your aim isn't to get this knee to the floor, it's just to stretch out the thoracic spine here. If you can't get your knee as far as me, just make sure your shoulder is on the floor. Because a lot of time we try and think we should be here, but actually you're not getting the stretch. So imagine someone's pushing your shoulder to the floor. That will allow you to open up the thoracic spine a little bit better, just to stretch out a bit more. And stretch the other side. My back clicks really well on this side, on both sides actually. That's nice. And just relax. You want to use recovery as it's a nice way of relaxing the body. And it's part of your training, but a nice way of, we don't always enjoy stretching, but you can make it quite relaxing, get some music on, going to do it with your partner for an evening. It's a nice way of switching off for the day. I'll just come back in and run my back a little bit here. Before I come in, I've got a couple more stretches to go. This is a good one for set down hip flexor. Just push through and open up the chest, like so. Make sure your hip is going towards the floor. And what I did, guys, when it comes to building this routine, very simple. I found I couldn't find time, like I said before, to do an hour yoga class. I was like 10 minutes yoga routine on YouTube. And a few options come up. And then I also follow along to that and then added in a few of my own stretches from my physio. And that helped me to build my routine. So use all the resources that you got available to take action. But I think, so this is a nice, really good stretch for your IT band. If you do your normal quad stretch standing up, you're not going to really feel much benefit eventually, depending on how tight your thighs are. And this one here, oh, it's brilliant. Ever since I've been doing this one, I couldn't get my heel to my bum at the start, but now I can. And I don't get any knee pain at all from cycling and running. Maybe if I've been pushing a big gear for a long ride for a while, after the ride obviously might be a little bit inflamed, but a bit of stretching and recovery tends to ease off. So really good, really happy. This is a great stretch, so don't worry if you can't get your bum or your heel to your bum to start with. It's just important that you have a go. And we'll switch over to the other side. We've got this one, your thigh stretch again, and then hamstring stretch, and we're done. 10-15 minutes, that's all it is. Fantastic. Remember, when you're stretching, you should feel a little bit uncomfortable but not painful, because trying to progress and improve your mobility, you're not trying to hurt yourself. A lot of people try and push themselves too much. You might overdo things, but it's important just to make sure you just go at your own pace, feel a little bit of the stretch, and then just breathe into it so you can hold it for longer. Really on this one. Oh, done well today. I normally fall over on that one. Final one, hamstrings. So best way to progress, hands underneath your toes, bend to get there, and then bring your knees back. Okay, and then hold. And if you can pull yourself forward, as I do, I like to get my head between my legs eventually, and progressing nicely. But definitely, don't worry if you can't get there. You just got to start at the top and feel the stretch, and then eventually improve Just got to keep doing it little bits at a time, because it will reduce any back pain. I used to have quite a bit from running, and that's all been gone again as well. Beautiful. That is it done. The stretch session over. So, thank you for joining me this evening. That is my mobility session that I try and do most evenings. Follow along in your own time in the future. See how you get on with it. Hopefully it will be as a benefit to you as it has been for me. And let me know in the comments below if you found this benefit for you, if this was a benefit to you. Because if you're doing it regularly enough, as I've done over the years, you will see incremental benefits, improvements. So little and often is better than one big chunk and not doing it as often. So hopefully that's been enjoyable for you this evening. Big love, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.